Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Starfield on the Xbox Series X. Picking up where we left off yesterday. Sabotage. I need to meet Dalton to get the latest update on the mole. I can find him in his office on the executive floor. That's where we're at, and that's what we're going to do.
Good. You're right on time. I re-evaluated all the evidence. It took every resource I had, but the final answer is clear. Ularu is the mole.
The truth is worth the work.
I knew Imogene was innocent.
Yes, you made the right call. I've briefed Masako and discussed her plans on handling this. While we both agree Ularu is guilty, we need irrefutable evidence before presenting this to the board. For now, we lead everyone to believe that Imogene was the mole, and the situation was dealt with.
So we're okay with wrecking Imogene's life, self-esteem, and career if it's just for a short time. That's what you're saying our plan is, right?
But Imogene is innocent. This doesn't seem fair.
It's a means to an end. We'll make sure Imogene is properly exonerated and welcomed back with open arms if this plays out our way. Masako has tasked Ularu with writing the program to bring down Infinity Ltd. We believe she'll take the chance to incriminate Masako within the program, so this could provide the evidence we're looking for. You will be tasked with the assignment to infiltrate Infinity, so before you go, I want you to bring that program to me.
Whatever program Ularu gives me is yours. There's no way she frames Masako, too.
Good. Once Ularu believes she's properly deflected any suspicion, I've no doubt she'll be bold enough to hide something within whatever program she writes. Now, let's attend a meeting.
Shall we?
We called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogene Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Imogene was trying to use her expertise to set up Ularu as a mole.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget, the mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives.
Maybe someone should be keeping better tabs on their employees. Just saying.
I know you're not insinuating that this is my fault.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity Ltd, and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority the experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
They were performing illegal human trials at the clinic.
I can't imagine the mess their legal department has on their hands.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Misako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send down the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this.
When it comes to pioneering technological advancements, you bet I'm ready.
Good. I can tell Vina is going to enjoy working with you. Vina will be waiting for you in the neuroamp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
All right.
It's good to see you again.
Isn't it?
Ah, here's my lucky candidate. I hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey.
I'm excited to be a part of it, can't you tell?
Yes, I always love a willing subject. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, we'll be putting you under. I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus got everything entered correctly.
Did I not just say I quadruple-checked the numbers?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured.
I'm sure everything is going to be A-okay.
Of course. We've got, 5 PhDs between the two of us?
6, but who's counting?
All I'm saying is that you're in good hands. Now, just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we should be good to go.
It's your brain. Do what you want with it. But if you wake up and suddenly have the urge to annihilate all humans, I might have to reset.
There it is. Friendly as always.
All right, let's get this party started.
Somebody disrobed me.
Well, well, look who's finally up. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing.
My clothes.
Hey there. So, how are you feeling? You look good?
Feel fine. Everything seems to be the same.
That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation.
Understood.
Great. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says.
Alright, let's see what this internal neuroamp can do.
That's the spirit. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
Okay. There's nothing here I need to see.
I am not permitted to perform medical practices without human oversight.
Alright, buddy. Alright, he just does that. What's that doing? Nothing. Oh. I see the other marker now. He just does that. That's not. Doesn't give me an option. There it goes.
That was awesome. I just wish only awesome people wanted to use this technology.
Takes a little to get figured out.
Oh my god, that was incredible. What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now. I'm curious if any other side effects may manifest.
Okay.
So, tell me all about it. How did it feel? Any side effects?
Didn't feel like anything at all to me.
Yes. Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment of disorientation. It's truly remarkable tech.
I agree. This opens up a lot of possibilities.
When it comes to your job, you bet it does. Besides, the NeuroAmp isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions our subjects sanction in their own minds.
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, Masako wants to see you. It sounds like you have an assignment to complete, and DeMarcus and I have a lot of notes to record.
Right.
Between certain universes in a multiverse.
Good, you're here. I wasn't sure how accurate Vina's promise of no downtime was going to be.
Let's just hope her promise of no brain damage holds true as well.
Now that you've been outfitted with the internal NeuroAmp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries.
We'll make him wish he never heard of Project Dominion.
And wish he shall, every day, while he rots away in prison. All right, Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have 2 options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you.
Option B, I love the chance to use my acting skills.
Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed.
They probably will.
Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer, in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse. So I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
A lot of ground to cover without getting caught.
Nothing a good operative can't manage. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd., all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal NeuroAmp.
public will never know Infinity Ltd successfully stole from Ryujin Industries.
Exactly. And what the public doesn't know doesn't hurt them.
This is why I prefer science and exploration. Corporate dealings are definitely not for me.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Now that's an idea I can get behind. I've definitely controlled my share of narratives to get a few things done.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail.
Good. The less people in the building, the better.
My thoughts exactly. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible.
Ugh. Wow. Alright. I'm not good at it, but I'll do it. Suit or no suit, they'll never know I was there.
And that's what we're hoping for. If you can pull this off, even I'll be impressed.
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem necessary on their own to confirm the story.
It'll be the corporate story of the decade.
It certainly will, and we'll have front row seats. So, any final questions before you go?
I'm ready to go.
Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up, Skylar Lumen.
That's better. That's our operative suit. I like the helmet. Suit's pretty cool, I guess.
Do you have the program?
Here. Do what you need to do.
With pleasure. So, let's take a look. Aha. The decryptions hit a snag. There's definitely something here. This is exactly what we needed. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity Ltd network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials. Yeah. I'm going to copy the necessary files off this slate and issue you a new one. I want to keep this one intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Ularu was going to frame Masako and use her Overseer program to do it.
Yes. And had you not brought this program to me in the first place, you would have been the one planting the false evidence. Without that falsified evidence, Ularu is in for a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Misako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
Agreed. Oh, wait. Too cool. All right. How this goes. That was cool. See anybody? Critical systems. Heating. Activate. Yes.
Gas leak detected. All non-essential personnel must evacuate the building. Please find the nearest exit and contact emergency services.
Is he gonna go away? Save. Dang it.
Watch out for crossfire.
Hang out here for a sec. Be right back. Now every guard is going to be gunning for me.
Damn, they got away.
Hey, really doing damage. As long as I don't kill nobody, should be fine. Well, it's been a long way to go to have to sneak. What am I doing here? Oversee a program. An R&D ID card. Okay. Okay, over there. I knew stealth was gonna fail. I'm not good at stealth. And deliver the evidence to David Barron. Okay. Bleeding. It'll heal. I ain't got time to bleed.
It's important that the people of the United Colonies can trust their primary news source. Can I help you?
I hope so. You gonna look at me or I'm talking to the side of your head? There you go. I think I have a news story you'd be very interested in.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. What's this so-called story about?
Find out for yourself. Details are all on the slate.
All right. I'll take a look. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence.
I'm not at liberty to say, but everything you need is on that slate.
I figured as much. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source?
Anonymous.
Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
Obviously. And congrats on your future promotion. Just saying. Alright, going back to Ryujin. Alright, Masako.
I've yet to hear anything of note on SSNN. Let's hear your report.
Not a single hitch. David Barron should be running the story any minute.
Good. David won't be able to resist a story like this. He'll do some preliminary confirmations, which will be enough to get the broadcast out to the public. And how did the NeuroAmp perform?
Extremely useful.
I thought it would be. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
Infinity Ltd. and Lucas Drexler are currently under investigation for a number of violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. So this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith.
Ryujin buys Infinity Ltd. and no one loses their job.
Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception.
Yep. Sounds like a win-win situation.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them.
If they don't agree, I'll be sure to make them listen.
Good. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done.
Indeed.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work.
If you acquire Infinity Ltd., you'd save jobs. It's good public perception.
Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished.
You're all way too eager to use the neuroamp on one another.
Oh? Your response tells me Masako must have given you similar advice. It'd be unlike her to not fully exploit an advantage, especially when she believes acquiring Infinity is the right thing to do.
Listen to reason, Ularu. You know acquiring Infinity is the right choice.
Well, it does make Ryujin look good, and we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting.
An interesting meeting? Somehow I doubt that.
Maybe not for a lowly operative, but for me, personally, I think it'll be one to remember. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments are solid before this meeting.
Saka would really appreciate it if you could back her on acquiring Infinity Ltd.
Not much to discuss there. I believe I've made my case quite clear to Masako on why I am against it.
Legal issues aside, the pros of acquiring Infinity Ltd. Far outweigh the cons.
All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset.
We'd be eliminating competition and gaining customer base.
Definitely a point worth considering.
I think we both know your team could handle any legal issues that came up.
I'm starting to understand what you're saying. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom.
Have you been preparing for having the internal neuroamp on the open market?
Unfortunately. Half my department's been poring over documentation, while the other half is writing up what legal guidance they can.
Curious about your thoughts on the internal neuroamp.
Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent.
Yeah.
First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
With proper legal guidance, the applications for the internal neuroamp are endless.
In an ideal situation, yes. And I suppose creating that ideal situation is within my power. Now you've made it sound like a proper challenge that I can't help but accept. Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope.
Feel great, no side effects as far as I can tell.
That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp.
This internal neuroamp changes everything, Vina. You're going to be famous.
I'd be the next Ray DeCaris, my childhood hero and mentor. How amazing would that be? DeMarcus, eat your heart out. Don't tell him I said that. He knows I love and respect him. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be?
There's bound to be something inspiring or new in their research.
That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
Yep.
Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available.
I am indeed. Good. I wanted to speak to you about the meeting as well.
An efficient exchange, then. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why?
Of course, if we can save the jobs of thousands of people, we should do it.
Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporations have. It's a financial burden. It would be a huge undertaking on my part.
We'd be getting employees on Infinity's cheaper salary numbers.
This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation?
I think it was well handled. It proves how capable Masako is at handling any situation.
And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement.
Masako and Dalton already had a plan in place to uncover the mole, and it worked.
Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been.
Nothing I can think of. See you at the meeting, though.
This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side?
I didn't realize there were sides to take.
In this business, there's always a side. And right now, I'm backing Masako. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light.
Coming to the rescue of all those innocent workers will really look good for us.
I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year.
You know, if you really want to keep Ryujin in the public's good graces, there's one big thing to consider.
All right. I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it.
We should be exploiting the internal neuroamp every chance we get.
You're preaching to the choir. I have every intention of using it to our full advantage. In fact, I already have an entire marketing campaign in the works, and ready to pitch once it's officially approved. Well, It seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
Looking forward to it.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome.
Of course, I'm the one she's trusting to make things happen.
That's because you're the one with the tool to do it. As long as Masako has the internal neuroamp on her side, she can't lose. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened.
Project Dominion is essential to future success. It has risk, but nothing you can't handle.
I suppose you're right. As long as I am fully aware of the risks, I can properly account for them. My first priority will be to get the board and all security members set up with shielding as soon as possible. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause.
Right. The acquisition is worth the work. I know your team can handle it.
I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. Is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
All right. 7 of 7. All come down to this.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd.'s botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Our intention to purchase Infinity Ltd. Would put the employees' minds at ease.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity Ltd.'s current situation makes them more affordable than ever.
Arguments? None? Excellent. Moving on, then.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Imogene was just another victim. Ularu set her up too.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely, but this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
You're going away for a long time, darling.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? If there's nothing else, this meeting is concluded. I'll be following up with a few of you shortly.
You operatives really will wear anything.
But ain't nothing wrong with this outfit.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp.
Oh, yeah.
So, Infinity Ltd learned a lesson the hard way, and we exposed the traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin.
Thank you. It's quite a compliment coming from the Ryujin CEO.
It's well earned and deserved. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
Whatever it takes to keep Ryujin on top.
My thought exactly. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it.
Give me the details on my new position.
As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
Okay. Alright, we got a quest to go, well, activity to go talk to her. So we're gonna go talk to Imogene.
You've certainly shaken things up around here.
Indeed.
I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day.
It's good to see you back in the office, Imogene.
And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions?
None. I'm good.
Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course.
Thanks, Imogene. I'll see you around.
You certainly will. Go check out the board.
Easy now.
And if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Ularu's gone. I figured that for CEO.
My office. Don't look in here. Anti-personnel assassins. Calibrated breach. Shotgun and bullet, or shells rather. Recon stem. CCBX. Sabotage. I don't need the tissues. Don't want the pencil. Ooh. If you made it this far, I do appreciate it. you enjoyed the show, consider leaving a like. I got a lot more on the channel, and a lot more to come. So if you find something else you like, why not subscribe? It's free for you, it takes a second, and it helps the channel out immensely. Might as well go and click that follow. There's a follow bell down there. Let you know when I upload and go live. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.